Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes and hockey fans alike. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello everybody, we are going to kick off another day of videos with the season preview that we've been going over. I know that I'd been doing a few at a time during the week, but I wasn't sure what the season schedule is going to be for the NHL this year. So now we're really having to ramp it up in order to get all these videos out. So we're going to do a lot of videos in a short amount of time. But if you are new here, please subscribe. And then everybody that watches this, please like it. It helps me out big time. And we're hoping to get the channel to grow. So with that being said, happy Tuesday. And let's kick out the next video, which is this, the preview for the Los Angeles Kings. Now the first question I have here for my 3 question for the Kings is, number 1, can Cal Petersen be the starting goalie over Jonathan Quick? We all know Quick was one of the best goalies of the decade. Obviously, he was a big part of the Kings championship teams in the 2012 and 2014 seasons. He is 5th for wins this past 10 seasons, and then also tied second for shutouts in the past 10 seasons as well. On top of that, he's a 2-time champion in the, again, 2012-2014 season. The 2 times Jennings winner, that is for the goalie combo that has or allows the fewest goals in a season. So he's a 2-time Jennings winner. And obviously he won the 2011-12 Conn Smythe Trophy. You're just going on a crazy tear. I mean, absolutely crazy tear. Knocked out my Canucks in that playoffs too, I do believe. Yeah, he did. And so it's rough, but Quick obviously has been a very good goalie, the past decade. However, the past 2 seasons have been really rough for Quick as his play has just fallen off a cliff. The weird thing about it is the Kings haven't been a terrible defensive team, especially last year. They were in the top half of almost every single major defensive category. Quick's stats the past 2 seasons look like this. 32, 45, and 11 record, 3.09 goals against average, that's high. 896 save percentage, that's low, and 3 shutouts. Now, obviously, if you're not accustomed to the NHL, usually the league average is somewhere around 2.7 goals allowed a game, or average. So a goalie, would give up on average in a full 60-minute game, about 2.7 goals against average. And Quick's the past 2 years is 3.09, so that's very high. Anything above 3 is rough. And then the league average for save percentage is usually about 910, somewhere around there. His is below 900, which is really rough. He's only recorded 3 shutouts in the past 2 years. That's not like him. I'm pretty sure 1 year he had like 8 or 9 shutouts, maybe 10. Meanwhile, Cal's stats the past 2 seasons look like this. 10-7-1 record, 2.62 goals against average, and then a 923 save percentage with 1 shutout. As we can see, he is below the goals against average for the NHL, which is a good thing, and then he is above the league average save percentage, which is also a good thing. It's a small sample size, I do realize that, but if Cal starts off this year hot, then I absolutely think they could, hand the starting reins over to Petersen. At the end of the day, injuries, I think, and then age are just catching up to Quick, and he's already 34 right now. It's going to drop off the cliff, I think, pretty soon here. I guess here in a month we'll know what the situation looks like, and that we don't be surprised if Cal is a starting goalie by the end of the season. I really do think that's going to be the case. So if you're a Kings fan that loves Quick, then just be prepared that Cal's probably going to take over the reins and be that number 1 goalie. Second question is, will the Kings turn it around this season? The Kings honestly haven't even been bad that long, and they haven't even been super bad. I'm not exactly sure why everybody seems to think that they are a atrocious team. Trust me, there's been some worse teams. I don't remember what year it was. I think it was the 2014-15 Sabres when they were trying to get McDavid. Trust me, that team was bad. Obviously, we've come to expect big things from the Kings, especially from that 2012, 2014, those 2 cups. We expect them to be contenders because them and the Hawks especially were the favorites in the West for, a good 4 or 5 years. However, head coach Tom McCullough said it's time to, quote, turn the ship, and said the initial rebuilding phase is done and it's time to work on building this team up. I absolutely agree with what Todd has to say, and I do think the worst of the rebuild is over, but can they contend for a playoff spot? Let's take a look at the potential division that they'll be in. It would be Anaheim, Arizona, Colorado, Los Angeles, Minnesota, San Jose, St. Louis, and Vegas. Right off the top, I'm going to be honest, I think the Kings will make the playoffs in this division if they can hang around with Minnesota, because as from what I've heard, it's going to be the top 4 teams in the divisions, Vegas and Colorado. That's a lock. Probably St. Louis. If they can hang out with, my guess is Minnesota for that top spot, then I think they should make the playoffs. Now, obviously, it's going to be hard to do because you have to think that those top 3 teams are a lock, but they could be in the hunt for this to get in, to that top 4 spot. The division is top heavy with some very good teams, and the Kings are a young team that's building their core, but I think they're a way, way, way better version of the Red Wings, and they should look at themselves from last year and say, what can we do to improve? Look at just themselves, not other teams, just themselves, and say, hey, what can we do to grow? What can we do to get better offensively, defensively? What can we do to make sure that we're not sloppy and turning over the puck? A lot of times with younger teams, it's just, fundamentals can be an issue. This team should be better than last year, and I think they're going to be able to grow some, not in a slight way. I think it's going to be pretty big. They're on the back end of the rebuild, like I said, and this young team, I think, is about to learn, and I think it's about to really get going. Sorry, I got to scratch my nose here. Now, the third and final question is, what young guns will get to play this year? And obviously, we've got Quentin Byfield, or Byfield, but I call him Byfield. I'm pretty sure it's Byfield, but I've heard some people say it like that. He was selected 2nd overall in this year's draft. Last year, he put up 82 points in the OHL, 32 goals, 50 assists in 45 games for Sudbury, the Wolves. And then you have Gabriel Velarde, drafted 11th overall in the 2017 draft. Last year, he only played 10 games for the Kings. He got called up pretty late, if I do recall. But he put up 7 points in that time. So 3 goals, 4 assists. Obviously, that is somebody that you drafted a few years ago. It's time to start, getting him some more ice time. Time to just get him out there on the ice, get a feel for the game. I think this year, Gabriel Velarde will be able to, get his feet out from underneath him and just start to really get going. I think that this year will be a big year for that. You have Jared Anderson-Dolan. He was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2017 draft by LA. He played in 9 games and has only put up 1 point in those 9 games in the NHL. But he's 21, so obviously he's got some time to grow. Obviously with these younger players, they really got to, get some muscle, be able to get used to the physicality, but also the speed of the game. It is intense. Obviously, they're going to have to be able to be in the best shape of their lives, really, if they want to be able to get going. Unless you're Phil Kessel, and then you can eat McDonald's and then score 40 goals and make everybody look weird. Now, we have cream of the... Oh, sorry. We're not done with Jared Anderson-Dolan. He, from 2016-17 to 2018-19, put up 210 points, 99 goals, 111 assists, and 174 games for the Spokane Chiefs in the WHL. Obviously, scoring in the CHL doesn't always translate, but we can see that he's a goal scorer, and maybe he can get some things going for the Kings in terms of scoring, because they don't really have a lot of scoring. I don't know how to say this player's name. I was listening to some broadcasters. We're going to go for it. Tobias Bjornfot, or Bjornfoot. I've heard it 2 different ways. He was drafted in the 1st round of the 2019 draft. He was part of the, Kings future that's supposed to be slated for the 2nd pairing with the blue line, Matt Roy. Obviously, they're trying to bring in some youth on the blue line. Anytime you can get some youth on the blue line that turns out to be, cheap and a steal, that's obviously a good thing. And then, paired up with Bjorn Fott is what we're going to call him for now, is Matt Roy. He was drafted in the 7th round of the 2015 draft. He's still pretty young. He's really underrated, especially because the Kings aren't really getting a lot of national attention, and he doesn't put up points a lot from the blue line like Carlson, but he's a very good 2-way defenseman that should be able to get some more attention and get the Kings back in the playoffs. Overall, there are so many players that I could have done for the Kings prospects. I mean, I was just looking at Daily Faceoff, looking through the whole list and saying I could talk about him, I could talk about him. I could go into their actual prospect pool and talk about these guys that aren't even up there projected to play yet. The Kings are in a very good position. I think they're going to be ready to contend in a few years, and I'm not going to say that I'm excited because obviously the Canucks play in the division with them, but I'm very interested to see how this group comes together and plays. Let me know what you think if you're a Kings fan or anybody else. Just let me know if you think the Kings' future is bright. As always, have a great Tuesday. I think I'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. I know, multiple videos in a row. Anyway, stay safe from COVID, and again, have a great day. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans in general. This is your captain signing off. Have a great week.